This is the invoice tracker automation. When you send invoices to the automation or the chatbot, it will log it into database, and the database in this case is Excel sheet. So once you send the bills to this automation, it will extract invoice number, invoice date, total amount paid by you, the tax, the payment method, whether it was paid by cash, card, or it was bank transfer. And you can also view the invoice because automatically the bot stores the invoice into Drive. So I will show you a quick demo of this. So this is the invoice that I will send it. It's a simple hotel bill. And this is a custom chatbot that I created for the automation. Once I send it a message, the backend gets triggered and the bots then simultaneously responds. So the bot is asking me to send the receipts and he is ready to store it into database. Let's check. It's in process right now. So when I first send the invoice to the bot, it first gets tracked into the temporary database, and once it's validated, it will then go on to the permanent database. So we have received notifications from the bot. The receipt is successfully parsed and summarizing it. Let's check and confirm. The invoice number is 27102. Let's check. The invoice number is 27102. That's right. The date of the invoice is 26/3/2026. 26/3/2026. That's also correct. The total amount paid is 1366 and total tax is 48.3. 1366, and it has added the tax in the form of CGST and SGST. So yes, that's 48.3. That's great. Let me know if the data is correct. Yes, it's correct. Which payment method was used? Cash. So it's storing the information into a database. Successfully updated the database. Let's check. So this was the temporary database. Now let's check the final database. Yes, the information is updated. The tax number, invoice number, the total amount paid, the date of the invoice, tax, and the method. All right. So we can also check it on Drive. So the invoice gets stored automatically into Drive. So in future, if I want to check if these amount, if I want to validate these amounts, then I can just go click this link and check the invoice that's stored on cloud. That's great. So what exactly is happening when I send an invoice? The switch case, I should first of all decides if a message, it's a message or it's a file attached. So if it's a message, in this case, if it's some text, so it routes the input to this branch, and then this branch is for replying the user. So for example, let's type uh, so in this case it was a text. It will reply us, you can send me the receipts, I'm ready to save it in a database. And if I send a document, then it correctly identifies the document and this branch gets activated. For parsing the invoice, I'm using llama parse API, and in llama parse I'm using the LVM model. And after the invoice is passed, the LLM, OpenAI GPT-4o mini, I'm using that, and it will extract important information from the invoice. So for example, the invoice number, the total amount paid, and the tax and all. And then it goes on to store it into database. And after storing it into database, it will ask us for confirmation. So there are two types of sheets that I'm using, a temporary one and a final one. Okay. So for example, if I tell the bot that the information is not correct, so let's check what happens in that case. So first it will check, it will go on here if the message is equal to yes or the message is equal to no. So in this case right now, since last time we went with yes, let's check what happens after I go with no. uh, the bill is right, but for checking what happens, no problem, please re-upload the receipt or invoice and just ensure that the image is clean and quite readable, and removing the correct entry from the database. So now it has not stored the information in final database, rather it has stored it in temporary database. So in future, if I want to check what all receipts were not correctly parsed, I can just see the temporary database. Also, I have the receipt link. I can check and validate the receipt from here. So this video was only for demo purpose. In next video, if you guys want to build this from scratch, I can help you. I can build it from scratch for you guys. Just comment down below and let me know. Thank you.